The archive opens. Every gram of soil in your garden contains millions of bacteria releasing electrons right now. In 2024, Northwestern University built a fuel cell from soil microbes. The study reported 68 times more power than needed to run the device. As long as there is organic matter, researchers stated, it could theoretically run indefinitely. A $3 copper coil can interact with this electrochemical system. 10 minutes to install. No batteries, no wiring, just moist earth and copper. 183 years of evidence, 4 inventors, 3 patents, 2 scientific academies, show that copper shapes in soil produce measurable effects. The question the archive investigates today: why does this knowledge rarely appear in any modern agricultural textbook? In 1841, a clockmaker in Scotland named Alexander Bain buried 2 metal plates in moist earth, 1 copper, 1 zinc. Current flowed, steady, stable. The world's first electric clock ran on nothing but damp soil. No battery, no external wiring. British patent 8763. Bain called it an earth battery. The moist earth between the plates acted as a natural electrolyte. Every mineral, every salt, every organic acid in that soil conducted electricity. The principle was simple. 2 dissimilar metals in a conductive medium produce a galvanic cell. High school physics, documented in 1841. A few decades later, British telegraph companies buried copper plates for their earth return systems. The economics were attractive, cutting wire costs by nearly half. Engineers recorded that plates oriented north to south produced higher output. But the more important observation came from maintenance crews. The grass directly above buried copper plates grew darker, thicker, taller than surrounding turf. The pattern repeated. Edinburgh to Glasgow, station after station, every site where copper sat in moist earth. The vegetation above it responded. The archive notes, no one published a study. The observation was recorded in maintenance logs, then quietly set aside. A clockmaker's patent, a telegraph worker's log entry, 2 data points, separated by decades, pointing at the same phenomenon. The archive holds both. 80 years after Bain, a French agronomist named Justin Christofleau built something different. A wooden pole, tall, with a copper and zinc collector mounted at the top. He called it an atmospheric antenna. The idea: capture the natural electrical potential between atmosphere and ground, and channel it down through damp wood into the soil. He ran field trials for 5 years, 1922 to 1927. According to his documented field trials, yields doubled. Plants grew 2 to 3 times faster than control plots. Swiss patent, 1925. French patent, 1934. Then the fertilizer industry took him to court. The word electroculture gradually disappeared from French agricultural literature. The patent survived. His reputation did not. If you have tried any form of copper in your garden, antenna, ring, or buried plate, the archive invites your observation. Leave what you measured in the comments below. 2 years after Christofleau began his trials, Russian-French engineer named Georges Lakhovsky conducted a single experiment that the archive finds remarkable. He placed an open copper ring around a plant infected with crown gall, a bacterial tumor caused by Agrobacterium tumefaciens. The ring was simple. Copper wire bent into a circle, 2 ends not touching, a gap of roughly 1 centimeter. 3 weeks later, the tumor fell off. 2 months later, the plant was thriving. 9 control plants, no ring, all dead within 30 days. Lakhovsky presented the results to the French Academy of Sciences, April 2nd, 1928. The critical detail: a closed ring produced no effect, only the open ring, functioning as what Lakhovsky proposed was a resonance antenna, produced the observed response. 2 different researchers, 2 different mechanisms, one atmospheric, one electromagnetic resonance, both documented, both patented, neither replicated at scale. The archive holds both as evidence, not as proof. U.S. Patent 600,457, granted in 1898. Nathan Stubblefield, Murray, Kentucky. His device: a copper and iron coil wound around a core, buried in moist earth. It produced 2 forms of electricity: galvanic, from the chemical reaction between metals and soil, and electromagnetic induction, from the current flowing through the coil. His son testified that the coil powered an arc lamp, continuously, from nothing but damp ground. In 1901, Stubblefield transmitted the human voice through earth without wires, documented before Marconi's widely credited radio demonstration. In 1902, he demonstrated the device in Washington, D.C. before journalists. March 28, 1928. Nathan Stubblefield was found dead in his shack. Starvation surrounding him, copper coils buried in the earth. In 1991, 63 years later, the governor of Kentucky officially recognized his contribution to the invention of radio. The archive turns to the institutions. According to historical sources, the British government operated the Electroculture Committee from 1918 to 1936. 18 years of research into electricity in agriculture. Every report was marked not for publication. Then the committee was dissolved. During the same period, Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch had cracked ammonia synthesis in 1909. Synthetic fertilizer production began its ascent. American fertilizer spending rose from $300 million in 1945 to $3 billion by 1975. After 1940, according to available academic databases, the word electroculture nearly vanished from peer-reviewed journals. Not disproven, simply no longer funded. Bain's patent, still on file. Christoph Loew's patents, still accessible. Lakhovsky's paper, still in the records of the French Academy. Stubblefield, officially recognized in 1991. The evidence was never destroyed. It was simply filed. In 2024, Northwestern University published a study on microbial fuel cells that harvest electrons directly from soil bacteria. The study reported output 68 times greater than the energy required to operate the device. The lead researchers stated, as long as there is carbon in the soil, this could theoretically produce power indefinitely. The mechanism: bacteria decompose organic matter, releasing electrons in the process. An electrode buried in the soil captures those electrons. This is the same principle Alexander Bain discovered in 1841. A galvanic cell between metal and moist earth. The chemistry is identical. The scale is different. 183 years, 4 inventors, 3 patents, 2 scientific academies, 1 published study in 2024. The archive now compares what these 183 years actually produced. Method by method. 3 methods. 183 years of evidence between them. Method 1. The atmospheric antenna. Christoph Loew's design. A copper and zinc collector on a wooden pole. channeling atmospheric potential into the soil. The evidence: historical field trials from the 1920s. 2 patents. No modern controlled replication. Cost: roughly $3 in copper wire and a wooden stake. Installation: 10 to 15 minutes. Method 2. The earth battery. Bain and Stubblefield's principle. A galvanic cell, copper and zinc in moist earth producing a steady electrical current. The evidence: well understood electrochemistry confirmed by Northwestern's 2024 microbial fuel cell study. Cost: roughly $2, 1 copper pipe and 1 zinc nail. Installation: 5 minutes per plant. Method 3. The Lakhovsky ring. An open copper ring acting as what Lakhovsky proposed was a resonance antenna. The evidence: a single 1924 experiment at the French Academy. No independent replication on record. Cost: roughly 50 cents in copper wire. Installation: 2 minutes per plant. The archive finds: the earth battery has the strongest scientific foundation. Galvanic cells are established electrochemistry. The atmospheric antenna has the most historical field data. The Lakhovsky ring has the most intriguing single experiment. All 3 cost less than 1 bag of commercial fertilizer. Safety notes: use bare copper only, not insulated, not copper-plated steel. Stakes must be wood or bamboo, not metal. Copper in soil is safe at trace levels. If concerned, start with 1 earth battery. Test for 1 season. Keep zinc nails away from pets. Zinc is toxic if ingested. The global fertilizer industry: more than $200 billion a year. Pesticides: $60 billion. A copper coil: $3. A Lakhovsky ring: 50 cents. A zinc nail: a few pennies. The physics did not change in 183 years. Only who controlled the conversation about how we grow food? If you want to test this yourself, start with the earth battery. Strongest scientific foundation. 1 copper pipe, 6 inches long. 1 zinc nail. Space them 8 to 12 inches apart. Bury both 6 inches deep in moist soil. Measure voltage with a multimeter. Expect 0.8 to 1.1 volts. Maintain 1 control row. No copper. Measure plant height weekly. Weigh harvest at end of season. That is not faith. That is repeatable observation. 183 years of evidence in 1 investigation. If you know a grower who deserves to see the full record, send this to them. Every gram of soil contains millions of bacteria releasing electrons. That is not theory. That is a published finding from Northwestern University, 2024. The question is not whether soil generates electricity. The question is, why 183 years of evidence, from 4 inventors, 3 patents, 2 scientific academies, rarely appears in any modern agricultural textbook. The archive does not claim to know the answer. The archive only presents what the record shows. The archive is building a record of what was filed away. Subscribe to keep this investigation open. The archive closes.